Hey guys, welcome back to the Book Nook Corner. It's Courtney. Today's video is a fun one that I actually have done before, but it's been a really long time. So I thought that I would redo it and just kind of see what you guys think. I'm going to be talking about my favorite ever books of all time. There's quite a list. It's not a ton, but it's enough that I hope I don't bore you to death. I'm curious to see what you guys think of any of these, if any of you have read them before and agree with me on favorite book of all time status. The very first book we're going to talk about, Through a Glass Darkly by Carleen Cohen. So as you can see, this thing is old. It is used and abused and just nasty looking, and I did get this brand new at the time. This is just how many times I've read it. This is, I believe, the second one in a trilogy. So I have told multiple people to read this book, and they always say like, oh my god, it's the second in the trilogy, and then they don't read it because they don't want to read the first one. And to me, I did not know that going in. I was a teenager. I was way too young for this book. OMG, like, where was my mother? But anyway, that's besides the point. So when I found this, I didn't see the other two, and I didn't look. Like, I just was like, oh, that's pretty. Read the back, sounded cool, bought it, read it. To me, you can read this 100% without reading the first one. I mean, this is kind of a standalone in some ways, but either way, just I think about this book a weekly, if not daily basis. That is how much it meant to me. That is how much the characters meant to me. Like, it is just, oh my god. And I got my sister and my mother obsessed with these characters and the author in the series. She's currently writing another book. She has another book that's not in this series as well that was really good. It's called Before Versailles. Historical romance at its best. Like, just the best book. I don't know whether to, like, because I'm not the best. I've said this to you guys before. I'm not good at, like, off-the-cuff descriptions. Like, I suck at that. And then I feel stupid reading the back because that just feels like very, like, blah. We follow a main character named Barbara. She was born into a family with money. She lives with her grandmother and her brother and her younger siblings at a sprawling estate in the English countryside. And her mother is quite the character. Her mother is kind of a slut, for lack of a better word, and she just doesn't really care about her children. She kind of just dropped them off with her mother on this estate, and she goes and does her own thing. The man that she married, which would be Barbara's father, is not the best of people. They've decided to get a divorce. She's now destitute, no money, decides to take Barbara. They go live in the city, like in a little like apartment thing, and she's trying to find Barbara a husband. She finds Barbara a man, but he is probably triple her age. He's old enough to be her father. And Barbara has always had an obsession with this man. She thinks that he's always been handsome. He used to come and visit them. He's kind of like a family friend type situation. And her mom is just a schemer, a conniver, does not care about Barbara, does not care about any of her other children. And Barbara is just the most loving, wonderful, amazing main female character ever. I love her character and her character growth and just everything that this woman goes through, like the trials and tribulations of Barbara. My sister and I, like, we literally have like the entire cast of this book picked out. Like, we just love these characters, and I'm pretty sure I heard that she's actually getting a TV show made out of this, and I hope. I will die of happiness if this gets made into a TV show. If the person that directed and wrote and did, well, not wrote, but like directed and produced Outlander could do this, oh my god, life made. I will go to heaven happy. Like, just would be amazing. So anyway, I don't feel like I really did that justice, but here is the description if you would like to pause. Please do yourself a favor and read this book. So I am doing these in order of like most favorite to like least favorite on the list. The next book that I'm going to talk about is called the Cheysuli Chronicles. I'm going to give you the picture because my copy is like I might as well just seriously just like throw it away and burn it. It's that bad. So I need to get a new copy. It is one that I read probably first time when I was 13 or so, 13, 14. There's nothing in it that's like overly inappropriate for kids. So I would say like if it was a show or something on TV, it would be like PG-13. I just really connected with this book. There again, I've read this book probably 10 times, not even kidding. And there's actually, this is an omnibus. There is 4 omnibuses. I'm going to leave the description here and go ahead and pause or read at your leisure. I am not even really going to begin to try to describe this because it is just fantasy. It is epic fantasy, but there is 100% romance involved. It's just so intricate and so, like, the world building, main characters, and just the vibes and the descriptions. And the main character, okay, the main male character, I would say that they're kind of like a Native American, like Indigenous American type of species. I don't know how you want to word that. They have animal companions, like, that they can speak with and that they can shapeshift into. So they are shapeshifters. You know, other kinds of magic, like different kinds of healing magic and things like that. And, oh my god, just so good. I can't even describe. Like, I want someone to read this book with me. Please, someone read this book with me. As my neighbor's chopping wood. Hi guys. So I'm now in my dining room, and I usually don't like recording in here because I'm backlit pretty much, which sucks, but he's still cutting wood. So we're just gonna continue this in here, which is like kind of stupid and embarrassing. So yes, Cheysuli Chronicles, go check it out. You will not regret it. It is such an intricate and like sweep you away type of story. I just absolutely love it. So the third book on my list would be Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. This is a book that I first started reading literally when I was 8 years old. This book came out and started getting popular in the United States. I realize there's a lot of controversy, you know, related to J.K. Rowling, however you say her last name. But as a whole, you gotta give it to the story. I mean, it's a good story. It's a good series. And it's just one of my favorites. I have been a Harry Potter girly for my entire life, I feel like, at this point. And if you don't know what Harry Potter is about, I will leave the description, but come on. Like, who are you if you don't know what Harry Potter is? Okay. What planet did you live on? What rock did you live under? So my next book / books, they're tied kind of for fourth place on this list, and that would be Throne of Glass, the whole series as a whole, and A Court of Thorns and Roses, the whole series as a whole. These two books, I honestly just within the last 2 years discovered Sarah J. Maas. Oh yes, let's take a minute for that news. Who, what, am I? Like, where did I come from? What rock was I living under, right? I ask myself that every day. This woman and her writing means so much to me. I love her characters. I love her worlds. I love her stories. Just her smart mind. She is one in a million. Like, this woman is someone who was put on this planet to write stories and to make people happy with her stories. Like, there's just no other way to put it. Throne of Glass, I'm just going to give you the background right here. Then we have A Court of Thorns and Roses, and this is like just, oh my god, I just read like a couple chapters of Akamath last night to be able to chat with my friend that I'm buddy reading with, and just, I was like, Rhysand, come on now, you know, he's just ridiculous in all the right ways, So here is the description. I feel like I've showed you guys and talked about this book enough. Hopefully you can see that and it's not backwards. Okay, so the next book I would have to say on my list as my, fifth favorite now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth favorite would be A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. When I read this book, I first started it and I was like, oh, that's, you know, it's good. It's interesting. It's different. It was the first book of hers that I'd ever started or read. I got a little lost with it and a little bored in the beginning. And then something just kept telling me to pick it back up. And so I did. And then I couldn't put it back down. And I absolutely loved it. Look at this beautiful copy. I believe this was from either Illumicrate or Fairy Loot. I think Illumicrate. So glad that I stuck with it and finished this, because like this book, oh my god, it made me cry. It gave me goosebumps. I then discovered that I absolutely loved her writing, and I have read every single book that this woman has written. And it's just one of those ones, like, here, I'll just give you the little snippet on the back. Look at this. This will give you a little hint as to like the two main characters, right? I remember when I opened that, I was like, Ooh, because I don't really have a lot of like special editions of books. I'm not that girly that can afford that. But here's the description. This book just, it means a lot to me. It has a lot of Scottish flavor to it, which I am. Per my maiden name and my bloodlines, I'm like literally 75% Scottish. It's really cool. Per ancestry blood work. That part of it kind of meant a lot to me, and I found very interesting and kind of felt like seen, like, oh my gosh, these are my people in this book, you know? I could literally hear bagpipes in my head while I was reading this. I would highly suggest this book. So my last book on this list, which I actually literally just added today, like as I'm writing these down to make this video, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to add this book because I finished it in February. It was just one of those ones that really meant a lot to me. I had seen the movie years ago, loved the movie, fell in love with the movie, never have stopped thinking about the movie. So I thought I really need to read this. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. Charlotte Bronte, however. Anyone know that? Let me know. I found this copy, believe it or not, actually at Goodwill for like $2.99. So this book is just the story of a girl who was an orphan. She was born into a fairly like well-to-do family. Her parents both passed away, and she was sent to live at an orphanage, an all-girls orphanage. And she just kind of had a rough life. She was never really shown love. No one ever really took the time to like spend any genuine time with her. There were a few women at this home for the girls that she did care for and vice versa, but it never really was like, wow, close relationship. And so when she kind of graduated from this school, she moved on to be like a governess for a wealthy man's ward, who was a young little girl. And then she, you know, things ensue with this wealthy man who she falls in love with, and just the story of their relationship and their journey and how it ends. I cried. It's so good. I cried in a good way for good reasons. I was afraid that it was going to be stuffy, kind of boring, or hard to understand. It was not at all, ever, at any point. It was very easy to follow. It was very hard to put down. I'm so glad that I read it, and I'm so glad that I found this amazing copy. Like, it's kind of dated looking, but it's just so pretty. It's very unique. I adore this book. So that is all of my current favorite authors / books. I guess I should say authors because, yeah. I would love to know if any of you have read any of these, what your thoughts are on them. If you want to read them, let me know. I could maybe buddy read with you and, you know, reread it. They are all worth continuous rereads for the rest of time. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I have lots more fun videos and things coming your way. Thank you so much, all of my subscribers. You are amazing. And I will see you guys later. Bye!